It's 2:12. Sorry for the delay here. This is the Arts, Parks, Health, and Aging Committee. It's Wednesday, the 16th of January, and we're going to be joined by Councilmember Hahn. But the first action that I wanted to take up here for this here was the item concerning number 8, the CAO, on the instructing the city administrative officer on the issues related to the current hospital crisis in Los Angeles and the county. Madam Clerk, what we want is the CAO to prepare a report and an assessment of hospitals, not only in the city of Los Angeles, but throughout the county, so we can see what our challenges are in the future. So with that in mind, we're going to go forward with that item number 8. So you instruct the CAO through action of this committee and schedule it in council and ask them to be there when it's there. Okay, thank you. Do you have anything to report on that, Madam CAO, just generally, if you could, on that?
Not at this time.
Okay, good. Anybody here for item 8 coming in the door?
No.
CAO? Item 8? Item 8, item 8. All of you who work for the CAO, go back and find out who's there for item 8 and bring them in here. All right, we'll send that forward. Thank you very much. Now, let's also check item number 7. We want to approve this on consent for the Nate Holden Center. Is that correct?
Yes.
You want to call it, Madam?
Item number 7 is a report from the Chief Legislative Analyst relative to executing a lease agreement with Ebony Repertory Theater for the operation of the Nate Holden Performing Arts Center.
Good, and this is also going to Budget and Finance?
Correct.
Good, so they'll review that. We're going to move that forward. Okay, item number 6. You want to call that out?
Item number 6 is a report from the Chief Legislative Analyst and a resolution relative to the city's position regarding the expansion of and additional funding for the Healthy Kids Los Angeles program.
Hi.
Hi. Good afternoon, Cheryl Benares with the Chief Legislative Analyst Office. Motion Parks Hahn instructed my office to work with the County of Los Angeles to review the San Francisco Health Plan, specifically the Healthy Kids and Young Adults program, which provides medical, dental, and vision care services to children of low and middle income families in San Francisco. Los Angeles also has a Healthy Kids program that provides similar services. The report before you provides an overview of both the San Francisco and Los Angeles programs. Both Healthy Kids programs offer the same programs and services. However, the San Francisco program has been expanded to include kids and young adults ages 0 to 24, while Los Angeles covers ages 0 to 18. The key difference between the two programs is the role that the city and county have played in terms of financial support. In San Francisco, for ages 6 and up, the Healthy Kids program is funded by public funds, but in LA it's funded by private donations. Los Angeles has worked with various organizations to continue to raise funds, but they're always facing financial obstacles. The CLA recommends to adopt the attached resolution to include in the city's legislative program support of administrative action by LA County to expand the Healthy Kids program and instruct the CAO to work with the county to identify possible funding sources.
Yeah, I also want to further instruct that the CAO investigate the cost of what the City of Long Beach and City of Pasadena, which are two large cities in hand, to see what they do as it relates to this program. They have their own health departments. The City of Los Angeles, City of San Francisco, as City County, they too as well look at it a little different. But look at those two cities as well.
Okay.
Ms. Hahn, would you go see Willis Landline over here if you want to speak about the hospital? Okay. She's right there. This was item 8. If you want to. So we could do that? We're going to move that there. We approved it. We wanted you to approve it too.
Yes.
And if Madam Clerk, I want to consult with my colleague here.
Yes.
Just a minute.
Certainly. Yes. Outside?
Good, yeah. Ms. Hahn will see you in a moment too. She is also an advocate as such. So thank you very much. You want to step over there? Thank you very much. We work in very fast ways here at the committee. Item 8 has been approved. Give her a briefing on it. Item 7 has been approved, and item 8, we're going forth to council on that, but I want you to look at Long Beach and Pasadena as well. Consult with them.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Item 5 is next.
Outside?
Item 5 is a motion, Han Weezer, relative to instructing the Department of Recreation and Parks to report on implementing the Class Parks program at Imperial Courts Park.
Great. We're going to hold item number 5. Let's go to item number 4.
Item number 4 is a report from the City Administrative Officer relative to authorizing the Board of Recreation and Park Commissioners to execute an amendment with Plaza de la Raza.
Great.
Good afternoon, Veronica Salumbiras with the Office of the CAO. The proposed amendment would add cross-default language relative to an electrical system upgrade. It's a requirement with the Proposition K. The CAO recommends approval.
Recreation and Parks?
Yes, Sid Makarag at Department of Recreation and Parks. We also recommend approval, request approval of the amendment. The Plaza del Raza received a Prop K grant of $500,000 for electrical upgrades at the Plaza del Raza, and therefore we also recommend that.
Do they pay rent?
No, sir. They are basically their consideration for being on properties providing community programs.
Right, which is, many of our facilities have that same such arrangement.
That is correct.
It saves the administrative costs that Recreation and Parks would have, but
Yes.
they do a more specific job and a good job, and you're satisfied with their job.
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll go forward with that. Thank you very much. Item number 3.
Item number 3 is another report from the CAO relative to executing an amendment to Jones and Stokes Associates.
Good afternoon, Veronica Salumbiras with the Office of the CAO. The proposed amendment would extend the term by 6 years from 9 years to 15 years and increase the maximum allowable compensation by $600,000 from $900,000 to $1.5 million. Funding for the fees paid under the terms of the contract is provided within each project budget. There is no additional impact on the general fund. The CAO recommends approval.
Good. And does ZO look at that as far as any audits or anything that would be, to make sure that we're in line with everything that would make you happy, to make sure that every efficiency is being cornered out there?
I would defer the question to the Department of Recreation Parks.
Okay, you could stand before this committee and say that you feel this company is doing an excellent job?
Yes, so we
And
do.
their
as-
costs, we're looking at their costs, they're not charging us for parking, they're charging us for consulting.
Yeah, yes, they are charging us for consulting. As a matter of fact, one of the projects that they did was to do some environmental work also for Griffith Park fire recovery. So they're really a consultant of record also for a number of other department projects, and therefore we're very happy with the work.
Very good, thank you very much. Motion to approve. Number 2.
Item number 2 is a report from the LA for Kids Steering Committee and a resolution relative to initiating proceedings for the 2008-09 Proposition K assessment.
Tricia Carey with the CLA LA for Kids Steering Committee staff. Before you, we're recommending approval of a resolution which basically instructs staff to undertake various actions so the city can levy the $25 million annual assessment.
Very good. You're satisfied with that?
Yes, I am.
Good, very good. We're going to recommend approval. Item number 1.
Item number 1 is another report from the LA for Kids Steering Committee relative to the designation and reallocation and swapping of Propositions 12 and 40 funds for various projects.
Tricia Carey with the CLA LA for Kids Steering Committee staff. We're recommending basically a reallocation of $4.3 million. In essence, it's just a swap amongst Prop 12 and Prop 40 funds. The Prop 12 deadline is June 30th, 2008. So we're swapping out some funds in order to allow the city more time to complete those projects that will be completed after the Prop 12 deadline. Total project funding remains the same. I have submitted a revised attachment. Some of the numbers have been updated by Recreation and Parks, but again, the total amount of funding is the same.
All right, Mr. Drucker, you want to join in this one here? You're an engineer, you may be able to add. Okay. Who would like to speak first?
I guess I'm Craig Raines from Recreation and Parks.
Right.
And the only two projects I can speak that were on that list there were Dante's View and Captain's Roost.
Right.
And just want to say the proposed swap there is before council and is just waiting approval.
Well, let me just ask you a question. I just a little familiar with both those places. How do you get $112,000 in Dante's View?
How did we get 112,000
Yeah,
into
I mean,
it?
you're not building a house up there.
Well, we could, no, I know. One of its fencing costs, we're really kind of upgrading the, the internals circulation system there, making these stairs, the grade transitions a lot more, in lines with park standards. And we're just kind of.
But it is the side of a mountain. I just don't, I appreciate it.
It
okay?
is, but-
I appreciate it,
But
Maybe Mr. McCall knows. When was Dante's View built?
Oh, that Tom McCall Recreation and Parks. I believe that it occurred somewhere in the late 50s.
1964.
Oh, boy. I was close.
Yeah,
Yeah.
4 years off.
Yes. Council member, what our plans are obviously to contain costs on this project. We have been in contact with the California Conservation Corps, who had a contract with us and it's just expired. And on February 6th, we have prepared a board report to go before our Rec and Parks Commissioners to renew that project. They have proposed a labor cost for both Dante's and Captain's Roost at $50,000. The department will purchase the materials. So we have their perimeter fencing, which is what we've just purchased. In fact,
But it's not fencing, it's more like equestrian rail, is that right?
it is. In fact, if you had seen it, it was delivered to the nursery yesterday, and we haven't stored all of it. And we're very excited about this product, and we're going to be using these two sites to test it. It's 60% recycled fabric material. It's potash from burning of coal. It's 60% lighter than the existing woodcrete, so it's much easier to install, easier on the backs of our employees.
Right.
And then unfortunately, this product is not wide enough for using for stairs and for railing, so we'll have to go to another product. Our original plan had called for that. So everything that we're trying to do is being, ecologically attentive. And
I got that, but I just don't see.
Oh, but I don't.
$1,000.
We may not be spending that amount, hopefully, if we can contain, because we'll be.
Also, too, we're looking to put automated irrigation system in there.
Yes.
And these costs, they do, unfortunately, they do add up to those numbers.
No, so if Dante's View was
And
started
also-
in 1964, what was Dante's last name?
It started with an O, or
Inferno.
No.
Oh.
That's the
Come
other.
on there, Miss Hunt. Go back outside, do an interview.
Or
Go back.
Igani or something, I can't,
Orgalini.
Orlini, yes.
Okay.
You have us at a disadvantage.
Yeah, I know. I had a great disadvantage because following Dante was Charlie, following Charlie was me.
Yes.
And I just don't see $112,000, so
We're definitely upgrading the site, and one of the things we really wanted to do is get some things in there that would kind of help keep this, in his spirit, kind of keep it at a certain level, and we felt the automated irrigation system
yeah.
would be one of those things.
That's for sure. But I don't know what an irrigation system costs, but that would be very nice because that's
Yeah.
very good. Very important to do that. What about Upper Dante's View, the area that you brought the soil in that Mike Fay did a great job on?
We definitely, will be.
Did you get anything out of this to share in there too? Could you squeeze? Because I think that's a space that needs to be developed
Definitely.
as a rest with a couple of benches and stuff like that.
If you call it Dante View, yeah.
I see Marilyn White, the superintendent at Griffith Park here. How are you, Miss White? Well, thank you. You consult with Mr. Grijalva. Is he back on the first team again? Yes. Yeah, because he's an artist there, and Marshall has backbreaking skills. What's Marshall's last name?
Marshall Baronis.
Is a tremendous asset to your department. He does a wonderful job. I see him working there, Marshall Baronis. And we're anxious for a tree planting, and the mayor has a big Sunday coming up here on, along with Temple Israel, which is a big citywide event on May 2nd. So could we see anything by May 2nd if we get this approved?
Well, we're hoping.
We got a lot of volunteers anxious to do good things there,
We're
Mr.
hoping that
McCall.
work can begin on the project in the beginning of March.
Yes.
through all...
Okay, good, so I'm gonna hold you to it. I'm gonna hold you to it. Beginning of March there, Neil, you got that?
You possibly can help me move it along.
Sure, I'll approve this if Ms. Hahn supports it. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you so much, all. Keep us posted, send us some diagrams, et cetera, so we make sure that we've got it. I want a specific report before council. Thank you all. Tell Marshall he's doing a great job out there. He's really special, and Javier did a great job the other day. We planted trees. 47 trees. And what was the first tree? Who did we plant it for? Did he tell you? Johnny Grant. So it was a good little tree planting. Clean and Green helped us out. Neil, how are you?
Good afternoon, Councilman. Neil Drucker for the record, Public Works Engineering. I'll discuss a couple of the projects. The Echo Park Pool really briefly, which is about 98% complete. We're working with Department of Recreation and Parks to complete the project. That consisted of replacing the entire superstructure as well as redoing the pool, the mechanical pump and filter equipment.
At Echo Park.
At Echo Park. This is the deep pool. This is the one on the south side of Glendale.
Court? On Court Street?
Glendale and about Court Street, exactly,
Right, okay,
yes.
good. So is it operational now? You could take a dip right now if we went out there?
No, you wouldn't want to take a dip since there's no water yet, but...
We're going to get it done. When's it going to be done?
We're hoping the end of the month, everything but the pool itself will be complete, and within 2 months, the entire pool and the superstructure.
Who's the guy, or, excuse me, Madam City Attorney, please let me correct that description. Who is the person who's responsible for getting this done?
As far as the design and construction side, or?
Yeah, everything, to be able to take out the building permit and put in the welcome sign.
It's a group of people, but the project manager for the project was Kathy Santo Domingo at the start and Marlon Calderon at the finish.
And Marlon? Hey, Marlon is in charge right now?
Marlon actually, unfortunately, just left my program, so Kathy's back in charge.
Kathy's back in charge, so we want Kathy to deliver this by April, right?
Yes, that is
Could
correct.
that happen? Because
That will
summer's
definitely
coming.
happen. Yes.
And this is a year-round pool, right?
That is correct, yes.
All right, good, thank you.
Sure. And then Tierra de la Culebra is a CD1 project. It's operated actually by Arts Corps LA, or it's Carla as they're called. Tricia Ward is the executive officer there, and we're working with Tricia and David Marquez, who's one of their chief board members, to design this project. It's actually currently just getting ready to start phase 1 of construction, which is a lot of structural repairs, fencing, basically making the park
And what
safe.
street location is that?
What is the street location on that one? Do we have it there? No. I'll get that for you in just 1 second. I'll have to look
Yeah,
at that
okay,
for
take
some-
your time there.
That I don't have right off the top of my head.
And the councilman, the district's been briefed?
That's correct, yeah. We've been working very closely with the council office, as well as Recreation and Parks on that one.
And you got the San Pedro Welcome Park in order?
That's correct. That's at 240 South Avenue 57 is where...
Oh, the other one, but I want to know about the
San Pedro, welcome.
San Pedro
Yeah,
Welcome
San
Park.
Pedro Welcome Park. This is really, a Recreation and Parks is really handling this one directly, and they've already left, so I don't know if...
Oh, they're just not listening. Let's get them to listen in here. You know anything about the San Pedro Welcome Park?
Yeah, he designed it.
Yeah. Good, you're summoned to the
Okay, if
central
he can come
table.
back. And then while he's coming back, Fred Roberts Park is currently in design. That's a project in CD9 to completely redo the Recreation Center building there. At the end of that project, we'll demolish the old Rec Center building. So,
Good.
okay, San Pedro Welcome Park.
San Pedro Welcome Park, how's it going? Are we going to be welcomed any day soon? What's the status?
You're referring to Phase 2?
No, he doesn't realize phase 1 is open.
Phase 1's open.
We are welcoming
You're welcome
people.
there anytime.
Very good, very
Everything
good,
good
very
about
good.
that freeway,
Wonderful
but phase 2, we're,
Phase 2, we're still in the process of acquiring the property, and that's
Is the councilwoman of the district helping you?
Oh, tremendously. She's been wonderful help.
Right over the place.
It's unfortunate that second phase, it's such a blighted piece of property. It almost ruins our gorgeous Welcome Park. It still, has graffiti, it's blighted, it's ugly. I tried to put up, here's an interesting issue. We tried to put up a tarp, which looked horrible. And then we talked about putting up some, along the fencing, just some wood slats, just to block it so it wouldn't be blighted. And then our city attorney told us, or was it Rec and Parks that told us this? Rec and Parks through the city said, since it wasn't our property, we weren't allowed to put anything up on it, which I would kind of question. It's like, seems to me it's...
Who owns the other side of it?
It's somebody who lives in Tennessee, and it's blighted, and it gets
somebody?
and it gets graffitied. I don't know why we can't treat it like we do sometimes. Building safety just goes out and improves the property and then bills the owner. But we were told we couldn't put nice wood slatting because it wasn't our property. Could we?
You might want to talk to Building and Safety and see if they can cite the owner to at least clean it up, if not force them to put...
Good suggestion.
No, it's not a good suggestion. They're in Tennessee. They're an absentee landlord. That's not going to work. I want to be proactive, and again, it's unfortunate. Your beautiful park. I think people look bad at. Because the second piece of property looks so terrible.
Yeah.
So what else can we do besides doing that?
Well, I'll take a drive-by the next couple of weeks, and I'll let you know whatever we could do. I was going to suggest we maybe consult with some of the people up in Hollywood if there's any salvageable landscaping that is fire rated, et cetera. So your deputy has just arrived in the office. 3 staff members for this committee. Very good. Okay.
Wow.
And I was just going to suggest another way might be to contact the owner in Tennessee, and if they're willing and the city is willing to pay for it, to get a right of entry to allow us to do it on private property.
Yeah, we could. That's a better.
Let's give it a shot.
That's a better suggestion.
Are you happy with this report so far?
Yes.
All right, let's go forth with the council. Be prepared in council to give
Will do.
concise answers. Thank you both very much. Happy New Year. What we have left on the clerk? One item?
We have item number 5 still.
All right, item number 5. Let's call up for item number 5, Class Parks.
And item number 5 is a motion from Han Weezer relative to Class Parks program at Imperial Courts Park.
Imperial Court.
There's 2 different things that there needs to...
Marilyn White, Recreation and Parks Superintendent, Griffith Region. And with me today is Ann Vollmer, the Acting Director of the Class Parks program.
Hi, Ann. Marilyn, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, very professional right there.
Thank you, as always.
As always is right.
We'll be making a verbal presentation today.
A verbal presentation.
Yes.
For what?
Good, okay. Let me just say, this is a verbal presentation.
Okay. Okay.
All right, we're prepared for the verbal presentation to go forward.
Okay. The Department of Recreation and Park appreciates the fact that the council member recognizes the value a Class Parks program can bring to a community. This neighborhood youth development program has consistently shown success since its inception in November 2000. Class Parks is an international, national, state, and local award-winning division of the City of Los Angeles Department of Recreation and Parks. Our continuing mission as a community youth development program is to build strong, resilient youth who have a healthy vision for their future. The Class Parks program is based on a youth development model that is founded on addressing teen problems, including isolation, substance abuse, education failures, gang involvement, and criminal activity as symptoms of a crumbling youth development infrastructure.
I love this program. You had me at hello.
Okay, all right.
This is why again, when we're talking about ending gang violence, there are a lot of pieces to that puzzle, and not all of it is suppression and law enforcement. While we need that, we also need prevention, and we need jobs, and we need job training, and we need in-school programs and after-school programs. These Class Parks are an amazing opportunity to take these young people and really pull them into such a positive environment with wonderful adults who really care about these kids, and they get opportunities. I didn't realize how many more opportunities kids get when in a Class Park situation than just a regular Rec and Parks program. So I'd like to see this at Imperial Courts. How do we make that happen? We need money?
We need money. We have two options. We can include the inclusion of Imperial Courts in the budget for 0809, or we can transfer an existing class park funding to Imperial Courts.
Let me guess, you'd want to take that away from, which one would you suggest taking it?
Anderson at this time.
San Pedro. How many young people are enrolled in the Anderson class parks?
I'll have Ann answer that. Okay. I believe we have a limited program at Anderson, just because of the facility, the
Yeah.
community.
I always thought that was a senior center.
It used to be. And we've had difficulty implementing a program there. And we thought, and we've done this in the past, we have changed one class park and transferred it to another. And we feel this was successful, and we'd like to do that.
Can't read your writing. Go ahead. Go ahead. So you would suggest...
That's an option.
And would that be transferred right now?
Well, the process would be initial assessment of the facility, a board report, and the buy-in from your district.
I mean, yeah, right. I think we need to go on parallel tracks.
Excuse me, Ms. Taylor, we're going to continue this meeting momentarily if you leave. Okay, keep going.
I think we need to put it in the budget for 08, 09, and then why don't we also look at more immediately, if we're not doing a full program at Anderson, let's take that money and start doing a full program at Imperial.
Okay.
I can't read your writing, Eric. First year. Huh? You already have it. Okay. And then, we're looking to increase our apartment development fees. So people building apartments also help pay a little fee for parks.
Except we haven't approved that yet as a council.
We haven't, but I'm telling you, this is why, it's moments like this
Right.
that I have to give up one, in one part of my district to fund another one in another part of my district. I'm robbing Peter to pay Paul. So I'm just saying, it's moments like this, we need more for everybody. We need more money.
What's it cost to run a class park?
The initial expenditure is close to $300,000
A year?
a year.
Is that's for staffing, that's for the field trips?
It's for
that's
everything, yes.
Everything. I mean, I really believe in them, and I just think, the gang reduction zone that the mayor has laid out, Imperial Courts is right in the middle of that. I mean, I think this is one that actually, it would be nice to get some money from the mayor on this one as part of one of his zones. So let's proceed along a couple of tracks here. And anything you could do to help me figure out how we can fund the one at Imperial Courts. I just think it is so necessary and needed. We have got, crime is coming down in Watts 50%. We've got a momentum coming, and now we need to capture that by, getting these kids involved in something positive so we can keep the trend going of less gang violence.
Okay, well,
So help me. Help me do this.
Okay, let's do this, and then when it comes to council, we'll help as well
Okay.
on this here. I'm sure Anderson, I think if you do any change, though, my only suggestion is the recreational parks do a posting to a community meeting.
Well, I first want to know,
test the
I
weather,
first
yeah.
want to report back on what the program is at Anderson. I agree. We have to let everybody.
Right,
But-
exactly.
But I've never really sensed that there was a very well-developed class parks going on in Anderson.
Right.
Yeah, I know. I know that.
Very
Okay.
good, very good.
Oh, no, I know.
Okay,
we'll report back.
you report back, but we're going to go forward to council with this. But I want you to report on the side. I'm not going to hold anything. Let's talk more about it in council, try to,
We've got to figure out how to implement it.
right. But give us a report in days.
Let's be creative.
Yeah, right.
Okay,
And Marilyn, you've worked on class parks for many years prior to your promotion to superintendent.
yes, the director of the program, yes.
For many years, Marilyn White is
Yeah,
one of the
it's
great
just- yeah, I know. It's just,
record parks. Let me keep talking about Marilyn, I know.
no, I'm like, I know.
But I mean,
Go
in
ahead.
developing the program, which is so important, I know Mr. Muckery is very proud of it because it actually is a part of the solution. And Recreation Parks is part about the solution
Mm-hmm.
of our community. So please let us know. We're going to schedule this from council, and we could go on from there And if the CAO, CLA, look before council, if there's any money anywhere, there's no money, we know that, but just see if there's any other fund, any grant. What's our grant program doing? We have a grant administrator in Rec and Parks?
Yes, we do.
You know, maybe there's a grant that's out there that some foundation would really want to make a difference, because I know how hard
Yeah,
you
I
work for your
know.
district.
This is
must
one of
know.
those. Class parks really make the difference.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right, good. Sergeant, we just see if Miss Taylor's outside, because I don't know if she left for the day, she did fill out a card. Madam Clerk, would you review the committee agenda right now and give us an update on anything?
Item number 1 was approved. Item number 2 was approved. Items 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 were all approved.
Very good. I have one card here, it's for Joan Taylor, and I don't know if she has left the area. Did she take her belongings with her? Okay, so I believe she is left there. I would call her now for public comment, but she's not here. If she does show up, I'll be happy to talk with her. If there's no other items before us, wish you all a good afternoon, and drive safely, or ride the public transit safely on your way home.
Okay,
Thank you.
Good.
Bye-bye now.
bye-bye now.
Did you want to...